It's locked. What? Well, whatever. I ain't digging with it now. What So, I did something that I normally do not do. And mostly because, mostly because I can. How about that? Turn this down real quick. So I flooded the shop with smoke. Um, so let me go grab. Well, let me go turn on my exhaust fan. Oh yeah. So I don't know. I have zero idea what chat looks like on this in this setup. But yeah, I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's an air curtain from I don't think like a grocery store, but that's not what it's from. But it's just an air curtain that we turned it in a different orientation, and it is just pushing the smoke out of here. It will clean this out in like 5 minutes tops. It's amazing how well that works. I don't normally, when I start a fire, this is not how I do it. I did this on purpose. I covered my fire up with coal. I do not advocate for this. I did it on purpose because in my shop, sometimes I get critters, birds, and I had a wasp wanting to fight me earlier. So when I smoke out the shop like this, most of the time they'll evacuate pretty quickly and not come back for a while. So kind of what I did, why I did it. I mean, look, you can already see across the shop for the most part, but you can look outside. That thing is still pushing smoke out of here. But like I said, I don't normally start a fire like that. I don't advocate for that. There's no need for it. Even when you've got a flue in a chimney, or a smokestack, there's no need to start a fire like that. It's just not. Sometimes it's fun, though. I ain't gonna lie. That was like a running joke at the fair. We would start a fire first thing in the morning, and then just create a big smoke bomb. And the joke was we were letting them know we were there. I do not know if they're like the chat thing. I have no idea what these buttons do. Chat filter, top messages. Okay. All messages. How about that? All messages. I don't know what this plus button does. Start a poll. I don't want to do that. I don't know what this does. I don't want to do that. What's this button do? All right, I should have figured some of these things out before I clicked on these things, huh? Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy. Hey, Brian. So I was showing off my exhaust fan up here. It's already, when I started, you couldn't see across the shop. I kicked that thing on. You can see it is pushing that out rather quickly. I was also explaining that I do not normally advocate starting fires like that. But every once in a while, it's fun. But it tends to make the birds and other critters get out because I think they think it's on fire, so they're like, "Oh, get out of here." So I haven't really forged much in the past week or so. So I thought I'm gonna have to get my forging on today. I got a couple things I need to do. And then I got a couple things I want to do. So I don't have like a set agenda for the most part. And I'm using my phone, which is not typical for me, but I can't be bothered to go back into the house to get my cameras. Hell, I'm not even sure if I got microphones. I'm not even sure if I were to plug a microphone in at this point if it would pick it up. I mean, shit, I guess I can try. So here, I will go over to my magic. Oh, yeah, there's a bunch of crap on top of that box. So I don't know. Let me show you guys. So a couple things I need to do. One, I made. Well, I did not make. I butchered. I had this flour that I had started at the fair, but the conditions for doing this were not ideal. So I'm going to cut this off of this. I'm not a big fan of these plasma cut blanks, but easy enough. So I'm gonna cut this off, and then I'm going to, and how, you might ask, how am I going to cut this off? Simple, and I'll show you an easy way, especially since it's not fully riveted. I don't know how well you can see. Yeah, it's not fully riveted. So what happened is the vise was no bueno. I got a bajillion excuses, but trust me, they're all good. So what I'm going to do is I'm not gonna get this hot, but I'm gonna get it hot enough. Well, you know what? I don't even think because it's bent, it might produce a problem. So what I'm gonna do is cut it off with a not a hot cut, but a cutoff wheel. Can you see the vise? You can see the vise, and you can see that filthy mess over there. But that's okay. Let's put it in here. There's Custer hammer here, because we are using it for stuff. There's not the hammer. Well, I need to get my Anvil out too. I'm going to look over here. 3D printed hammer. You can get these from Ryan Schweder, Schweder Ironworks on Etsy. If you want one, I'm not going to give you the file. You can pay the kid. He's a grown-ass man now, but you can pay the guy and, give him all $20 or whatever he's asking. I don't even think he's asking that much. Let's see. I have some back straight. No guard. Do as I say, not as I do. Because it's bent, it's not going to just fall out of there. But I'll try to back and by. See if I can knock it through. Oh, that's the thing. Well, I'm trying to get it off there. Come on. I'm going to try to do this without having to heat it up right now. But we'll see. Let's do a little heat in. Let's see if the induction board is plugged in. That would be easier on the induction board. It is not. Okay, let me try. I'll try to bring you guys with me. I can't really see what's going on. So I had a problem with the induction forge over the weekend, and it wasn't the forge's or the induction forge's fault. It came down to, whoa, hey, well that works. It came down to a wiring. We haven't quite figured out what's going on, but we swapped it to a different circuit, and that resolved that problem, I believe. So the only issue with that is a lot of my other stuff is running off of that circuit, so I can't run the forge, the grinder, or the press at the same time right now, which I don't know that I ever would need to do that, but that is a thing. So let me heat that piece up, and let me see if I can coerce it out. And since I'm here at this angle at the moment, I want to do that over here or the mic. Now I do apologize. I don't have, well, I do. I just didn't dig my microphones out. So I apologize. Hopefully the new phone's got decent microphone stuff or something. So let me go grab the flour. I can't drag you around everywhere and still do this. Oh, you know what? I see what I did. I'm going to be trying to be fancy. Okay. Try to show you guys in a second what I did. Somehow, I know what I did because I'm the one that did it. Ha! I just forgot. So this piece, I scored it with a hot cut and then formed a tenon, and so it's actually bigger on this end than I realized, which it should be, right? But so I can't just knock it through, so I'm gonna have to cut that off. But it would be a lot easier if it were straight toward. Hey Jeff, how's it going? I'm gonna put that in there, grab some pickup tongs, see if I can straighten this out. Not that this is a good way of doing this, they just happen to be. Okay, let me see if I can straighten this out with a hammer. A little more. Okay. All right. I might be able to salvage that. I doubt it, but so a little straighter, but not much. I'm gonna try and cut it off. I gotta expose that shoulder. we go. You can see that shoulder focus. Let's try. Let me get a little pointer right there. Holy crap, come on. There you go. Let me try to cut that off. Put this back over here real quick. And then after this, oh, why should be drained? That is going to need a little more proportion and support. Let me knock it out real quick. Almost. You guys can't see a damn thing. Well, you ain't going to be able to see a damn thing anyways. Let me come over here so you can sort of see the anvil. Sorry. Normally I have real cameras and stuff set up, but I'm being lazy tonight. So I just used a center punch to drive it through. I had some rag on it, and I don't know how we got to it. So let's see if I can get this wobbly bit bar to go through there. The rest is the way. Hey, there we go. Good, because I didn't want to have to retexture all that crap. Okay. So, got that off, got this back. So this time I'm going to use a bigger piece than what I used last time. I think it's 3/16. This time I will use, oh, you know what I'll need to do though? Turn you around. So, what I need to do is kick my fire back up, and while that's getting hot, I'll go grab my anvil and move my flammable to a less flammable area. I'm going to pick this heat up. I need this. Let me go grab my keyed anvil, because that's what I plan to be working on today, for the most part. So I'll show those of you that have not seen this before, I'll show you guys. Okay, this is my keyed anvil. Hey, look, I dropped the latch. I don't know what that weighs. I do have a scale, but I don't know where it's at right now. I don't know. Maybe maybe 65 pounds. Maybe that's probably being pretty generous. So if you look at it, it's got a hardy stem with a slide, right? Now what happens is when you drop this down on my striking anvil, it's got a 1-inch hardy on it, and this is a 2-inch block and a 3/4 inch plate. So a little bit of that slot is still up inside the hardy, and the rest is below, which allows me to run a key or a wedge into it, locking it down and locking it into place. So let me go grab my keys, because, you know, I didn't think about that. So I'll be right back. So here are the keys. I think this one works. So what's cool about this system, Brian kind of came up with this, Brian Brazil. Now, Mark Ling and Andrew Larson came up with what they're calling a universal hardy stem. You don't have to do this. You can just use a slot punch, forge, stem, that lives on anvil. I've got one of those over there. But what's nice about this is I can pull this anvil off and key it in, or in some cases, it's pretty rusty right now, so it's pretty tight, but, or in other cases, I could, in theory, put another one on when the anvil's mounted. I could set this on top of the anvil and key that in, or other tools. Now what I don't know is if this anvil fits into this striking anvil anymore, because we used this for striking anvils, and it looks like it's going to go without any fuss. Sometimes these holes get dinged up and you got to fix them. So I'm going to check my key. This key was originally made for this anvil, so you do not have to kill these. There we go. It's locked in. Like I was saying, I could remove this and put this in its place, or I could even put this up here. I don't have it pinned right now, but I can put this up here. Now, this hardy stem's too long. So to fix that problem, what I would do is have a spacer. I don't currently have a spacer, so we'll just play pretend. Will this go in there? No, it will not. We'll play pretend because we like to do that. But imagine you have a nut or something that could go around this, and then you can take that space up and then lock this in place. Sorry, I wasn't prepared to do a demonstration of all this. You can use, I've got a V-swage, I've got a half-round swage that I can lock in the same way. I don't like my tools jiggling. Watching guys use tools that jiggle, I mean, more power to you dudes, but this is not for me. So I'm going to try, let's see if I can move this camera so that you can actually see what's going on, or at least see my beautiful shining face, because that's what you're here for, right? Yeah, you don't answer that, please. There's no need. Let me lower this a bit. What the hell? Oh. I'm getting notifications from an auction I'm not even registered for. So let me move this about, lock this, lock this. So, okay. So the next thing I need to do, find a bar. This will work. I can tell you already, this is way more material than I need. I don't know what this is. Looks like half-inch round. Oh look, that would have been cool down here because that could be like a little rose thorn. Meanwhile, it's got to go. I'm gonna keep this up. I'm only using this because it just happened to be there. Let me fire a little situated. Man, this table needs to be cleaned so bad. So much dust on here. I'm not a fan of all that crap on the table. Some guys can deal with it. I'm not amongst them. Let me go grab my hot cut. Well, let me go find my hot cut. Well, this is not normally the hot cut I use for this anvil. This is a big one. I made this for my big anvil. But it should work, but it's not really square. That's one of the first ones I've made. So, as I know it's going to be problematic, I'm going to try to set it by hand. Alright. I'm going to cut this crap off. Oh, that hit. Oh, this thing's tall. Roughly cut off. What did I do? Oh. Put that in my strap band. Right there. So I had that, not a great hit there. Oh, I'm gonna fix that. There's a flower on this. That sucks. Well, it's not that bad actually. So I'll salvage that, but not right now. So I won't do this right now. So I'll put it in the vise and rasp it off and see if I can find jiggy tools. I don't like jiggy tools either. Yeah, man, suck. It sucks. Yeah, you know what? For one of my first ones, it's not terrible, but it also ain't great. It's too damn tall. Okay, oh, there we go. That's what I was looking for, a rasp with a handle. Or a handle. Alright, let me put this in the vise real quick and clean it up. I'm sorry you won't be able to see this. I know how much you guys love to watch a guy work on a crafty cut. If I had taken my time, I would not have to do this. So, there's something to be said about taking your time. There's a lot to be said about it, to be honest. I know these things. I rarely do them. Like I said, do as I say, not as I do. You'll be much better. You'll be much better off. I mean, it ain't great, but it's infinitely better than it was. I don't intend to fuss over it too much. So here's the plan. I'm gonna grab a bite of this and draw this out and make a tenon. So it's too big to work right there, but it's going to be too big on this one too. We use the ½ inch, I think. Yeah, too big. So, mountain tool, blah blah blah. Yeah, you can do all that. I don't know where mine are right now. Well, yeah, that might not be true. I might have one on here. Well, that's the floor. Anyway, doesn't matter. I got to put a tenon on the end of this. There's a much bigger bar, which is going to afford me something I was wanting to do anyways. And I'll show you guys when I get closer. And this one's a little, I think it's too big. Still wedges coming up. I already handled this hammer when I really didn't have a big grasp of handling hammers. Considering it's lasted 5 years at this point, with my shoddy understanding of it, I'm pretty happy with that. What I'm about to do is infinitely easier with a gauging tool if you have one, or a spring tool type thing, you know, spring puller type tool. You don't need one. You can, if you're careful, you can do this with a hot cut too. I don't like doing it like that. Seems like I always suffer the consequences when I do that. Flat face. And hit straight. And half on, half off. Not what I'm doing. I'm tending to lean more that way. I already can tell. And I can tell just by what I've got going on here. Right, so I'm just kind of going around. Now I wasn't really paying attention here, so I'm going to try to fix that. Lock it back in. Now, this is what I should have been doing. That's okay. Let me make a shoulder. perfectly right there. You can't probably do it. Maybe I should just shut up and stop pointing out my mistakes. Huh. Did it say 70? This counter can't be right. 70 people? What? That makes no damn sense. But anyway. Oh. Rusty top, right? Who cares? Work on it. It'll go away. It'll go away. Now, if you were doing silver or gold or something, yeah, you probably wouldn't want to deal with that. Still don't care. Okay. Oh, need to find them. I saw it earlier. There it is. I found it. A cigar holder. Good isolation that time, all the way around. Now, I will admit I fully screwed that up. I really should have done that on the near side. But I'll make it work. I ain't screwed. Why? Because I want this to be my tenon, and it is bigger than here. So, it would make more sense to do it this way. Which I could still technically do if I move it up. Maybe that's what I did. Instead of fighting with it. Let's fight. Let's fight. What? Nice damn day. It's a nice damn day. And I'm going to kind of run back and forth, make sure things are working. Okay. So, come up from the left radius, a little bit less of a radius, so it's going to stop. It's not going to stop. It's a lot less likely to keep kicking out on me. So I'm tilting my hammer right there to try to match my edge, give me that shoulder I want. Okay, almost there. Ain't great, but that's more material than I think I need, but we'll see. I mean, it should be more material. Now the stem, the rest of the stem, I'm actually going to draw that out a bit. I'll show you guys. Blade maker hot. Orange is blade maker hot. Yellow, blacksmith hot. Remember that, kids. Orange is blade maker hot. Yellow is blacksmith hot. There we go. Back to my flat face. effect here. I've noticed. Tenon issue, but it's not centered on the piece. Like I said, when I started that shoulder, I really should have been on the near side for that. Duh. But the same technique, it's just on this side. So now I'm going to try that over here. Now I got that where it's supposed to be. Now I gotta not burn it off. Okay, so you get to this point, right? And I want to show you a little dirty trick. You get to this point, if you tilt your hammer in and sneak up on it, you're a lot less likely to hit this. However, if you don't want to hit that shoulder, if you can help it, however, another thing you can do, if you have one, I do. Take a set hammer. Or a set tool. If you got a hand tool to do that with, you can bring it up. Good. Up. So you can, that's a little big for what I'm doing, but it works. So make yourself a handheld hand tool, a set tool, and that will allow you to sneak in on things like that. Arun, well, hello. So yeah, that will let you sneak in. Just tilt your hammer a little bit. don't know what's ringing. It's driving me nuts. No, I know what it is. I have a little pad that I put under here. And I forgot to put that on. That's okay. We'll deal with it. We'll pretend we're in Europe. Those guys like a ringing Anvil. I don't know that that's true. I just know every video I've ever seen of a European blacksmith, their anvil rings like a bell. So I'm just sneaking back up here, trying to avoid hitting my shoulder. Well, I got some heat. I'm going to start working on rounding this up here. Grab this flour. It should be cool by now. Watch me grab it and scorch myself. Come on. Give me the flour back. Come on. I need you to cooperate. All right. How far does that piece go? So I need to take this down a little bit more. Yeah. So drop it. I have to pick it back up. Hi-ya! Hi-ya! So, hello. Hey, Bill. I'm fixing that flour I butchered at the fair. Well, I think I'm fixing it. So this should go this way. Almost there. I'm definitely going to have to cut some of that tenon. But that's okay. I ain't quite there yet. 37. Had 70 something at one point. That's crazy. Come on, my power. What's that? Yep. You know what would be really handy right now? I want to buy a tenoning tool. I think it's too small. This one is. Let me see if I got it. You know why? Let me go come over here and grab it. took those to Oklahoma. Let me check something else. GM Dennis, what up, man? All right, I need to check one more spot. Now it is way too small. This will work. It's also this big. It is happening, I think. And not deep enough. We got the tricks, y'all. We got the tricks. This guy. That'll work. I'm trying to have to get going. So I'm going to go ahead and do it now. Well, you know what? Let me get it started first. I know it's not there. So normally, doing a rivet, you don't want to have to force that rivet on. I'm going to be doing that a little different on this one, but I'm not going to force it much. Hey, Greg. It's fired up, man. We're going to cut this right there, because I don't need that much. And it jiggling drives me nuts, man. Alright, almost there. I'm going to switch to a smaller hammer. Okay. Yes, a much smaller hammer. Still tilting, by the way. That's darned close. And I can't. That's it. Let's keep that. Having to go back over there to see. There's all I could see. They didn't. They're going to turn it around. I couldn't see the words. Eyes are terrible. There we go. Let me take it back a little bit more. Just a bit too more. And again, if you're not confident with your hammer control, mine's not great, but I'm getting better. And you get better by practicing this stuff. But if you're working on something very cool, make yourself a set tool, like a set hammer. And you can sneak that in a little easier. Or you can just start building your hammer. Right there. That's a lot closer. I think that'll work. I think that's going to work. I want the tip of that tenon touching the other side of the fire pipe. So I'm going to bring that out to the vise. So I'm going to turn this around so you can kind of see what I'm doing. I don't know how well it's going to show up, but we'll try. We will try. Bring a lot of heat for reserve, but right. Okay. All I really need for that. Pick that right there. And it's wrong way. Whoa, getting seasick yet? So it's okay. It ain't great, but it's okay. Better than most. Not as good as some. That part towards the end is still pretty fast. going to try to work that down a little bit. Like I said, it's going to get you to make it a lot easier, but these are good things to learn to do. You need to utilize all of your Anvil. Right? I mean, if your edge is stuck so bad that you can't do stuff like this, you might want to fix that. That's over way out, trying to avoid that shoulder. You want it almost running. Look at it. It was not. Somewhat round. Somewhat oblongish. Eggy. Weird. Yeah, that's a lot better. And now I'm just going to try to clear up the rust behind it. Like, oh no, I lost my phone star. Much better. So it's still really fat on that side. That's okay. So I'm going to fix that here with this guy. Okay. Hold on. Here. I don't want to force that much. I don't want it to be forced a little bit, but that's a bit much. That's probably a milligram of dairy. Probably, I'd say, a good 1/16 bigger than it needs to be. But it's been done with this small. A lot. I don't want to have to do this. Let's try to get it right. Probably taking my time. So, I'm going to trip for sure. I'm going to break out my trusty little plan. Z-set hammer. Wanting to roll on me. A big blob right there underneath it. Sneak right in. It would have been a lot easier. It was a hand tool. Alright, so then, once I get this to actually fit, I got to not screwed up again. Easier said than done. Oh, that's what we're talking about. Okay. Okay, see how the actually fit? That's way more tenon than I need. That's okay. I can deal with that. Hey, that got hot. In case you were wondering. So, like I said, I need to draw this side out, which I'm going to do in combination, hand hammering it and taking it to the tire hammer. So I'll start it here. I want a specific look. This is one of the few times you'll see me use the horn because it will give me what I'm looking for. What's that hot? One of the other things I need to do, I need to make fire poker for this forge. I don't know where it went, but it needs one. You got something to make it out of, it's a question. I don't know what I'm going to do, but that's something readily available to make it. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to take the camera over to the power hammer that I intend to use. And then I'll do the other parts. Oh, wrong one. And I'll do the other parts by hand. hot again, and then go from there. I'll be right back. Well, I can turn it around this way, maybe. Can you still me? You can see me? Put his glove on. Why? Get him up there. Can't see none of that. Okay. And then that end I'm going to do by hand. And that end there. And then this little bit here. And I'm going to put a tenon on that end as well. Oh my God, I'm stuck. What the fuck? Who wants to be over here and be my cameraman? I need a cameraman. Or woman, whatever. I'm going to push that off. It's too long. I'd never get it to the hot part, so there we go. So, because I'm not amazing, this will leave marks. Telltale sign that you use the power hammer. So I'll just go over everything. Trying to highlight some of that. If I was making this to make money, I would not be doing this. showed you the parts, but there's very, very small facets when you round it up, and they're usually if you go on the long axis of the die, they'll be longer than like a hammer would be. So it's a telltale sign. So I just like to remove that stuff. One of the things I want to do here is make it, swoop. Is that the right word? A little more flowing. You know what I'm saying, man? Imagine putting your hammer in the tool rack. Hard to do that. You know what I'm saying, though, right? It flows a little bit different. I mean, you could do this with the edge scanner, but I just can't glove off. It's that high head, so look at me. Look at me, y'all. A little more flow. Now, we'll probably get some bends and twists. It ain't there yet. I want to keep it somewhat straight. I'm not too worried about it, but somewhat straight makes it a little easier. Now, doing what I did does present a bit of an issue, and a tool for this would be nice. But I got one. Also, I didn't put my hot cut back in, which is pretty big. That's okay. I'll make it work. Ready for that. I need at least that much gone. Because these are going to get pulled back up. There we go. Once I hit that down, there's going to be a lot more skin exposed. Now, I do not want to assemble this right now. Because there's still forging that needs to happen down here. So if I were to assemble this now and then start banging on it again, it's just going to loosen everything up. You don't want. Then I'd have to reset that pin and that rivet. I don't want to have to do it. So I'm going to finish what I need to finish. It's almost there. Then I'm going to cut it off. So I'm going to probably take this over to the power hammer to that. Yeah. No, probably is about it. I am. So, I'm going to put this over here. Looking around, see if I can find something better into a fire cooker. Ooh, maybe. Maybe. Cut that guy off. Fire cooker. No problem with the scientists that are going first. Let's forge this down. That might be too long. So I'm going to cut it off down here anyway. And you can come with me. Okay, here we go. Again. I don't think that's going to be enough material for something. It's only going to grow a little bit. And I'll say that for a box. I don't worry about that tonight. When I find something. I don't know what this material is. I'm going to try to tell me it's mild, but there's nothing holding that right now. And it is hanging on to your life. I do not think it is mild. That don't get me wrong, I hope it is mild. It's my intention to weld with other pieces. So it would be helpful to know what it's mild, but I can still do it. It should be more ideal to know what. Here. Oh, look here. Maybe what I do, I make this in the coconut. I make this in the coconut. We can play with the power hammer more. Because it's already got a taper on it. Is anybody even on here anymore? Nine people. See, that's what I would expect normally. Earlier there was like 70 plus people on here. That's crazy. Made no damn sense. Made no damn sense. So okay. So I put a bunch of pieces in my vibratory barrel. It's not I don't want to call it a bowl. It's a damn big bowl. You'll see. But I want to get those pieces out. Oh my God, this thing is. Goodness. So I'll show you what I use in the light, actual light. They soaked in a little bit of sodium bisulfate. I threw them in there. Now that media is super clapped out. Bet this thing's on fire, which is fine, but oh, wrong way. Yeah, it's on fire. Let me show you this here in a second. You can squeeze out the fire. Sodium bisulfate, aka sodium bisulfate, aka pH down, and then I threw it in there. How well that's coming out. These were rusty, super rusty. And look, it did good. Let me go wash one off real quick. I don't have coolant in that set up yet. That is a goal for the future. What's nice about that machine too is when you're not using clapped out media, not only that, it will also help deburr this. So this is a tong clip. What you say? I'll show you. Tough on these. Another thing you can do. You would want to move that down more, but you get the idea, right? And you can turn it, you get a different size this way. So, yeah, maybe. So, too big, right? I could, still a little big. Still a little big. There we go. So you can use different size square tubing for that and get different size tong clips. I've got a really big one around here somewhere. It probably should be over here, but that's okay. I got a really big one for much bigger tongs. You know, Sometimes it's handy. Um, you can. Hey, there's my damn hot cut I was looking for. You can use. I have found. Um, I mean, technically, I guess you could use inch, um, but inch and a half, inch and a quarter, inch and a half, and inch and 3/4, up to 2 inch. And if you need really big ones, you can go bigger. But um, I like 3/16 for the wall size. Even 1/8 inch on smaller tongs is fine. Um, but you can form those. You saw me. You can form those with your hammer at the anvil, or even put them in the vise and squeeze them in the vise. Is another way to do it. You can also get rectangular pieces, which I have in here somewhere, for different things, different applications. Same principle though. I just grabbed them because I saw them, but tong clip right there. Now your tongs are going to have to be that wide. Sometimes it's handy to have. The wider they are, the less likely they are to typically, that I have found, less likely they are to slip on you. I think it's just the surface area is increased with the fatter ones, but really um, 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch is usually all I ever do. But I've got a couple that are bigger. Not that I made them this way, just they were already cut, so hey, why not, right? So I don't know what that is, maybe inch. So that would be a good clip for a pair of big tongs using it as a power hammer. So there you go. So that is definitely a birthday. Well, this piece playing with my toys. There's still enough material there to make fire poker. So I'm going to draw that out real quick. Then I'll do that on the power hammer. We'll get that hot. We'll take a heat on the power hammer and see how far we get. And then we'll be coming up on 2 hours, which I think is good enough. Whoa. Huh. That seems a little sensitive. Okay, one more heat. I think, yeah, I got 15 minutes. Almost there. I'll probably pull this out, pull it another cigar's worth out, and then I will cut it off, and then bone shaker, what up? I'll probably weld a handle to this because I've got one. But I don't know where it's at right now. I'll show you, but I've got one. I'll weld a handle to it and make it all fancy and whatnot. I don't know. Not right now. Let me clean this up. Yeah, I got two of these, this tire hammer, and then I've got a 250, but that's a bit much for the size material I'm working. I guess you could say overkill. is definitely long enough for the fire poker for the forge. I'll need to put a point on it and finish that taper out, but I'm not doing that tonight. But I'll say that. Well, got a little hot dip right there. Why not? Why not? Let me check, make sure the camera is seeing what it needs to see. It is not. You smell what? The coal or the cigar? So this end was burned, so I'm going to cut it off. Just to be cautious. Now, this thing got a little toasty. I hate we're involved. Sometimes you got it, right? I don't want too fine a point for a forge poker because they'll heat up and just start bending on you quick. As far as a poker goes, it's about all the more that's going to need. I'm not going crazy here. Like I said, I'll probably cut this and then weld the handle to it. Not doing it tight because, well, I got to find the handle. I'll show you what about. So I just hit that down in the heart of the fire, right? You see. Common for me to this. It's not heating up too bad. That's kind of what I like to see. fire poker, so I mean, you can take it as far as you want, but I'm not going to. Get crazy. I've already said that 3 times, and I keep going back to beating on it. So there's no point, really. Oh, not that close. I'll shut this power hammer off. But yeah, I enjoy using the power hammers. So right on. 4 minutes. So not too shabby. And I'll save that poker for later, and I'll catch you guys next time. I don't know how to end this now. Are you sure you want to stop streaming? I'm sure. So thanks for hanging out. Take it easy. Catch you later.